All right, guys, so we're recording now. So, Ruislip team, we're missing one vital key member. So I've got, I don't know how the screen shows, but I've got Mr. Welch, Sam over here. I've got Mr. C, Alex on, I guess it's my right. I don't know how it will play out when we record it. I've got down here, I've got Mr. Golding, Tom, and here we've got Mr. Boff following me on the pocket rocket. We've got Brooke with him. All right, all guys helping online. Thank you so much. But we're missing a vital team member. All right, Mr. Varelia that teaches over in Ruislip as well. He helps out in our classes and teach some of the beginner adults, but he's a vital NHS worker, isn't he?
He's been very busy recently.
Yeah.
He is the main man, without doubt, you know, on a Saturday and certainly throughout the week with our adults. He is an absolute living legend. You know, Jay every day is either training or teaching. He's just 100% committed to the team at Ruislip and everything that he gives us. And the kids certainly on a Saturday absolutely adore the bones out of the fella. Fantastic guy to have around, and we're missing him certainly at this time, but he's in the best place. You know, using all those skills he's got to fight on the front line, but we miss him and we send him loads of love.
Yeah, good on him, man. I'm going to try and see if we can get some connection. I know he's busy, and actually in his downtime, he probably wants some downtime. But if he's got 20, 30 minutes, we might do a little podcast with him and see how he's going. But really, we'll kind of see on his schedule. But anyway, so these are, I think you guys are the second or third podcast we've done. I'm going to do some fight breakdowns for the fighters at future dates, but I think it's nice for everyone to kind of get to meet you guys maybe on a little bit more of a personal level. So this is less teaching, less business, and more chit chat. So I don't want to focus too much on coronavirus because we're talking about it all day, every day, and we're here all day, every day. So I just thought, how are you guys doing with your teaching? How are you enjoying the teaching, the online Zoom stuff? How's it all going at your end?
It's going well. I think at the start it was difficult to plan, right? It's very different to teaching a normal class, just in terms of you don't know what people have available, right? You don't know if they're going to have a partner, if they're going to have gloves, pads, be shadow boxing it. So at the start, I think it was pretty difficult to plan, just making sure that we can cater for everyone in that session. Teaching a class in the academy, you know exactly who's going to be there, into like beginners, intermediates, advanced, what equipment they're going to have. They're going to have a partner. So I think it makes it easier. But no, it's getting good. I think we've got it down now. Everyone seems to be enjoying the sessions. I'm enjoying teaching them as well. It's something different.
Yeah, I say to so many people, it's like part of my daily routine now is scheduling my class, and I quite look forward to it because, again, as much as I'm trying to train a little bit myself, I have been a bit of a bum the last couple of weeks, but getting back into training, it's nice to get back and know I've got some classes to teach. Otherwise you end up just mulling around, you know, there's work to do and there's planning to do, but actually that break of getting in a class and shouting at people and teaching drills is quite fun.
Yeah, I think what's also different when you teach a live class is you can kind of go through what people feed back to you. So you do a combo. If it feels like it's going well, you kind of develop on that. Or if it doesn't go well, you kind of break it down a bit more. But online, that's a bit more difficult.
100%. It's the energy. We obviously in the academy, you get a huge vibe and physical feedback from your students, whether it's working, not working. When it's just down that lens, it's a different kettle of fish trying to ensure.
And I think we're normally used to the yes sirs, and whenever we teach something, we expect that yes sir, so we know that they got it. Now it's like trying to find a way to get them to say yes sir, thumbs up, show me muscles, things like that.
Give me something back, let me know you're still there.
I taught a class last night for a friend of mine up in Leeds, and we used to train we used to be in the British Taekwondo team together, and she moved to Leeds, but she's pregnant and teaching all the classes online herself. So I was like, let me do something for you. So I taught a class for her, but because I don't know her students and I don't know the terminology she uses, so maybe, jab, cross, hook, or 1, 2, 3 is not what she uses. Maybe turning kick isn't a turning kick where she is. And I'm like, I hope you understand what I'm saying. Yeah. I've got everyone on mute. I don't know whether they're doing it right or wrong. So that that interaction, that live feedback. You know, it's not just that as instructors, we don't just go, okay, this is what I'm going to teach and we go. You can almost like a comedian, you can feel the room and you know what's working and what's not working. You go, okay, I'll stick with that. That's working. We can progress from there. Or I can have to completely flip the script and go differently and have something else in my head to switch everybody on. You know? So guys, changing the subject slightly, I think your students would want to know what got you started training in the first place. So whoever speaks first gets the mic.
Go on, I'll go first. So it's a little bit of a weird one. I loved when I was younger Power Rangers. Like I had absolutely everything, toys, costumes, absolutely everything.
You still love Power Rangers. You still love Power Rangers.
Oh, I still love the Power Rangers. Nothing wrong with loving the Power Rangers. And I used to watch them all the time. And I used to stand in my front room or my nan and granddad's front room and try and copy the moves. So my granddad saw it and was like, oh, why don't we try it out, see how he gets on. And we came down to Northolt in Northolt High. Came into the school.
I was thinking there, right? Before we had full-time academy. So you've been training with us since you were 5 years old. You're going to be 21 next week.
Yep.
And you've been training since you were 5 years old. You rocked up before I even had a full-time academy.
Yeah, so I've been here for 16 years. So yeah, been here for ages, and that was really the reason that I started training. I always wanted to be the Blue Power Ranger when I was younger, and that was kind of what I wanted to do.
You sure it's not the pink one?
real men wear pink, so I'm cool with that.
You want to be the Blue Power Ranger, but meet the Pink Power Ranger.
Oh yeah, we'll go with that. I like that story better.
So you want to be a Power Ranger, huh? And here you are.
That's how I started training, really, just wanting to be a Power Ranger.
So 16 years later, you've got multiple stripes on your black belt.
Yep.
You've got purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You have entered in Taekwondo competitions, kickboxing competitions, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu competitions, and fighting MMA in a cage.
Yep.
I think if there was a platinum Power Ranger, I think you'd be it.
I've definitely gone through all the stages and followed you guys wherever you guys have gone. From like you said, kickboxing to Taekwondo to BJJ, MMA, wherever you guys have gone, I've kind of followed suit, really.
I think, as we've evolved, I mean, we as an academy and as an art have evolved so quickly over the years. And those guys that stick with it evolve very quickly and become so well-rounded. And I think you're a testament to that. You've got, not only can you fight with it, but it looks good too. You can bust out those 360 hook kicks and pretty kicks, as well as bite down on the mouthpiece and bang if you need to, you know, so you got it all covered.
Yeah, I love fighting in the cage. I love sparring. That's my favorite part of training, is when it gets hard, but being able to ingrade and switch that up and throw out the spin hook kicks, the 360s, and go back to basics effectively and the roots of where it all started with the Taekwondo. It kind of makes it do a full circle, really, which is always good to see.
Yeah, I think that hardcore fight in a cage with traditional values is pretty cool, right?
Yeah, kind of it all blends into one and kind of makes it all go from one aspect of it and grow all the way through to the other aspect of actually putting it into practice, and all the stuff actually works rather than just looking good on a pad.
That's my big thing. As much as it's got to look pretty, man, it's got to work. You know, is it real? Can I use it?
Yeah, 100%.
Good work. All right, guys. Who else? Share a story.
Should I get going?
So when I was young, I started I think I was around 7 years old. Mum took me to a little Taekwondo academy. I was one of those kids that wanted to do everything. So after, I don't know, I think it was around a year, because I remember her moaning that she just had to renew my license. And I turned around and said I wanted to quit. I wanted to do football or tennis or whatever it was at the time. Luckily then I found it again. So I quit there, stopped that, and I found it again. I was around 12 years old. Mum worked across the road in the offices across the road from the Eastcote Academy. And I saw the little 8 board out the side there. So walked across, found out a bit more information, signed up, and that was it. I became obsessed with it. I was there every day, hours upon hours every night. Pretty much have been ever since, just completely obsessed.
I remember, actually, funny enough, I don't remember when many people first started. I remember, Sam, when you first started. Tom, I remember you came with your dad. There's some real ancient YouTube clips of me and you doing some pad work, some boxing pad work as well. So I'll have to post those up at some point.
Yeah, how old was I? I was probably, what, 14, 15?
Yeah, maybe a fresh-faced Thomas doing some boxing drills.
I still am.
That's pretty cool. But you've had a lot of competition experience as well. I remember us going to some kickboxing tournaments.
Yeah. So I think I competed many times with kickboxing. My most recent one, actually, because I broke my shin, didn't I, training? And I was meant to be competing kickboxing. So they told me I couldn't kick, so I entered the boxing one instead.
Yes, I remember.
Boxed with the broken shin. Did all right.
Yeah, you did. You won plenty, mate. You won a few, right?
Yeah, did okay. So, but since then, yeah, I've mainly I've got guys obviously in Ruislip, like Ed and stuff like that fight professionally as well now. So it's good to be able to pass that experience over to them, train them up, and go to competitions and shows and stuff. And they're doing really well as well. So it's that's how I get my kick now, is from them competing.
Yeah, I think people, as an academy, we have a pretty successful competition team. I don't think people have to compete, but I think if you push yourself once or twice in your martial arts career just to feel that, the butterflies and the jelly legs of experience, because when it comes to coaching fighters, if one of your students wants to go for a tournament, you can kind of remember that experience and go, listen, I know how you feel. I know that your legs feel like, 2 tons and you can't move them because you're so nervous. You've got to fight through that. And even if you experience it once or twice in your life, you don't have to go to the, kind of the professional ranks to really understand that. But I think experiencing it, going for gradings, you experience the grading, what students go through, going for a tournament or a fight, you kind of understand what they've been through, and it makes us better at coaching that scenario, I think.
Definitely, yeah.
Mr. B, you go next.
Oh man, you've picked on the old fella. We're going back now. I was probably what would be year 6 when I started martial arts. Me and my best pal were in the playground, Michael, and he got picked on one day and knocked to the floor. And my exact words to him, dude, it's like, why didn't you do anything? And his words back to me was like, I didn't know how. I don't know what to do. And that stuck in my mind like a nail. So both him and I immediately went off and found some random karate club. And I'm talking old school. We're talking early 90s now. And this guy was set up in a school hall, splinters in the floor. He had us out the back of the school hall punching house slates. It was all very kata-based, sport karate stuff. Absolute nuts. But I was fixed straight away. I just thought, now I know what to do. I want to know more. So I went from.
So he was getting you to hit house bricks.
House slates, yeah, roof tiles.
Roof tiles.
Yeah,
so was he expecting you to get attacked by a house?
Who knows? Who knows? But if you broke one, he gave you 2. If you could break 2, he gave you another. It's like never ending. And we'd come home at like 11 years old with hands like this. And my dad would be like, did you die? No, carry on going.
Where did you die?
Couldn't hold a pen at school, but I could break a house slate.
Nice.
So from there, it was like, okay, but I've got that question in mind. Karate was fine, but I kind of just moved in sort of lines up and down. So that didn't work for me. So then I jumped to judo for a while. And that was very, obviously stand up grappling and throwing people to the floor. That was great. But what happens if they don't let go? Or they're trying to kick me in the face at the same time? So then I moved into another martial art. So I went to Muay Thai for a short period, then into Aikido. And then I followed a more Krav Maga route when I was doing sort of personal protection at work and things like that. And then eventually, in my late 20s, I found you guys looking for that next path. Again, just questioning every style I've done so far. It was just, that doesn't work for this, that doesn't work here in this situation or this scenario. And then I watched this young lad, Thomas Golding, down at Premier, the first night of my trial. It was like 14, 15, smashing hell out of everyone in just this sparring. On my first night, I was just like blown away. Just sat there watching. I just thought, this kid is just flooring, just mullering everybody. It's like, he's got answers to all the questions that were going through my mind. What if this happens? How do you deal with this? I was like, okay, I'm going to learn something here. And then 10, 11, 12 years later, still learning. So that's how I turned up.
Yeah. We've had so many students come from different martial arts and come to us. I mean, I started with Taekwondo, but when you reach a point, you go, actually, it's not real. It's like, you know, it might look pretty, but as a Premier, our product, we've got these pretty techniques too. So if you want to be flashy and do spin hook kicks and jumps and spins, great. But actually, there's that realism there too. There's that fight. If it ever goes down, prettiness is not going to make it for you. Actually going down, getting your hands up, chin down, that's what's going to go for you. And I think we've got all those bases covered.
Yeah.
So how long have you been with us now, Ian?
Oh, more than 10 years now.
Yeah, long time, right? Long time.
So I've been a black belt for what, 5, 6 years. So yeah, more than half of my training time, you know, I whipped through the belt ranks religiously. Every grading I did, every hit squad I could get on, and just pushed and pushed and pushed with that ultimate desire to get to black belt. But then I realized, as we all find out when we get there, that's when your knowledge starts again. You know, you don't hit black belt and go, oh, I'm done. It was always kind of a life's ambition to become a black belt in something, thinking I'd get there, I'll be happy. But I wasn't. It's like, oh, now I've got something else to do. I've got something else to push for. And everybody around me, that whole black belt team that we've got, are constantly pushing you to go further, which is good and bad at the same time. Because as I'm getting older, I'm thinking, do I want to keep doing this? But these guys won't let me down. I've got Kirk's trying to punch me in the face. Tom's always pushing me forward. You know, the likes of Kish and Adrian Whitewick and those guys, everyone's always pushing you further as part of that team.
Yeah, about Adrian Whitewick. He's 50 today, man. Big happy birthday to Adrian. Absolutely. Adrian's another guy that's been there for, done some Muay Thai into clubs. We've taken him to competitions. Man, he's always pushing himself, right? He's on the mat all the time. I see him, his wife, his kids, everybody's training. Good on Adrian Whitewick. All right, nice. So yeah, for those that don't know, when I was teaching in school halls. When I first started teaching, I was teaching in a Northolt Community Centre and in a school hall, a school in North Harrow, and we amalgamated all those and opened like a little full-time. Really, it was an annex. It was a little warehouse in Eastcote. So whenever we talk about Eastcote, before Ruislip, we moved to Ruislip, we had a little annex in Eastcote. So that's where a lot of you guys rocked in for the first. Actually, all of you guys started around that time, bar Samuel. I think you were predate the full-time centre as well. Nice. All right, who else we got?
That's me. I can't even remember, to be honest. It was such a long time ago. But I remember the first sport I did was karate, was Shotokan karate, which is one of the styles that's like a bit more hands-on, if you want. Is where you actually get hit. It's not just the patterns. So we were doing the patterns as well, but it was a lot of actually trying to hit each other and like get used to get hit and stuff like that. And I remember my dad got me into it because when I was younger, I always had like health issues and stuff like that. So I was the fragile kid that always had health issues, and I've been through a lot when I was younger. I was born with asthma and stuff like that. And he thought that sport might help me. And since then, I've pretty much jumped from sport to sport. And I did karate, wrestling. I even did field tennis, like Thomas did for a while. Did football for a while. Then I did. I started kickboxing when I was 15, and now it's been 11 years of kickboxing, and then loads more years of other sports. So
you've had, I mean, loads of success with us with regards to your fight career, man. You fought at from 66 kilos, 70 kilos.
Yeah, so I fought from all the way down to from 67 all the way up to 77, you know. So yeah. And I think of
how many titles?
That'll be 5.
5 titles. I remember we were talking about it earlier that me and Alex went to a fight night, and it was a tournament style in a ring, but you had 3 full contact fights in one night, and the winner gets £1,000. And boy, that was a tough night. After one battle, like smash up battle, a full contact kickboxing fight, we had to go back to the dressing room, ice up all those bangs and bruises and feet and knocks, and have to go back for another fight and ice you again and go back for another fight. And it was Alex was last man standing of that night, won himself £1,000. So very, very good. And
that was a good achievement. It was tough though. It was so tough. I remember my nose was all messed up. My hand was broken. My eye was opened up. It was just crazy. And I remember it was just me and you as well. If you remember, crazy, just me and you back when you had the Aston. We drove there.
We drove there in style, didn't we? Where did we go? Where did we go?
Norwich.
Norwich.
Yeah.
Well, me and Alex in an Aston Martin to Norwich. We belted it down there, just us two. Spent the night out. I think I must have used all the ice. I brought a load of ice with me. Iced up, ice your face, ice your hand.
Yeah.
I remember you saying, "No, I think my hand is done." I was like, "Mate, you're in the final. You better go in with something else."
Yeah, and I had another fight, and my hand was already done in. Yeah.
They were tough. They were tough. Imagine that journey going back if you'd lost. That would have been a horrible journey. But you know what? Everything hurts less when you win.
Yeah, true.
And there's a picture of you with your £1,000 in your boxing glove, like with all your face all like
all mangled up. Yeah, I remember that picture. Yeah, my nose is like a little bit to the right like that. Yeah.
What I'm gonna do, we'll do another podcast with some of you guys, and we'll have a little fight breakdown. I think we'll pull up a couple of the archives of your fights, and we'll break those down of what you were thinking and stuff. As well, but yeah, you've had massive success with your kickboxing. I think that was your entrance into really people starting to take notice of you, right? We've been to MMA competitions and a lot of kickboxing titles that you won after that.
Yeah.
And that was your entrance into the big time, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It was a lot of fun. I remember when we were going everywhere. It was the Green Army, wasn't it? They would always get scared and ask, what weight are you fighting at? What weight are you fighting at? Because they knew that if they're fighting a Premier guy, then they're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, we've had so many fighters come up to us. You know, like you see people on the circuit or when you finish fighting. I remember one of the guys coming up to us going, "Oh man, you guys are always so intimidating." I go, "Why? I've all the nice guys." "No man, you always turn up, all of you. You all look the same. You've all got the same gear on. It's so intimidating." I was like, "Yes, there's mind games before the fight. You know, they've almost. It's. I read quite a lot of the book, The Art of War, before we fight. My strategies behind that, and it's kind of seeking to win first. You know, before the battle. So those mind games are really important to me. And I remember as I used to fight with the British team and my team of with my instructor that I used to fight with, we always used to have the same tracksuits. We used to turn up in force, warm up as a team, and I always loved being part of that group and that team. So whenever we go to events and tournaments or anywhere, I'm always on it. You guys, you'll get text messages. "Don't forget your t-shirt. Don't forget your tracksuit top. I need you to have this bag. I need you to have these gloves on," because it's that. Everyone else is going, "Oh, what does it matter?" But to me, it matters because it looks like a unit, a team, a force, that you're not going to have to fight Samuel or you're not going to have to fight Alex. You're going to have to fight the 20 guys that rock up. You know, not that they have to fight 20 guys, but that's the team that turns up. You're going to have to get through us all. You know, you're not fighting one, you're fighting all. So good stuff. All right. Brooke, so tell me, how did you get your dad into training?
It started about 7 years ago. I think I was year 3 at that time. I was very, very shy. I remember in lessons, I didn't put my hand up. I didn't talk to people. I didn't like people. I was that weird kind of girl, and then Dad was like, "You can't stand around and not talk to people. The world is, you got to talk to people. You can't just."
You need a bit of confidence.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah.
So we dragged you down.
I remember you struggled to grade. You were there for so long and actually doing fantastically well, but you wouldn't push yourself to do any of the colour belt grading. So how long were you on the same belt for?
Yeah, so I did all the beginner levels, and then I got to advanced yellow, and then I didn't grade for 2 years. Because I got so scared of sparring. I think sparring just got to me. I think.
And when we say scared, we're puke up in the back of the car scared.
Yeah.
Wow.
Don't
And
wanna
how
do
do you
it.
get over that? So people that may be watching this, or parents that are watching their kids have the same issues, how did you combat that?
I think I had, I think when I did my next grading, I think I just did it with you.
Yes.
And I think you said some words like, it's going to happen one day. Either today, tomorrow, the next day. It's going to happen and you need to overcome it. And I was like, I'll do it.
Just push through that wall.
Just push through it.
No great philosophy from me. You'd think as a wise martial arts master, I'd come up with something better than just do it, right?
Do it.
But I think that's what some, you know, it sounds harsh and brutal. That's the way I'm with her sometimes. It's just get in the car, go and do it. Because she stops herself with overthinking. I'm not good enough. Everyone's watching me. I'm very conscious. Am I too small? Am I too slow? Are they all bigger? Shut up, get in the car, go and do it. And at the back end of it, win, lose or draw, you'll feel better for just doing it. So even if you're not the most successful, even if you do fall on your bum and everybody laughs, you'll still feel better it's all done. And then that's one step further to getting a bit more confidence for next time. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so many people have the same issues. You know, I started training because I was the bullied kid or whatever my history is. But I think kids that train with us or parents that have their kids that train with us now, so many people going through the same issues. And to have instructors and people helping on the mat like Brooke that have been, again, that's that fight. You can't, how can you coach somebody to fight if you haven't felt the jelly legs? How can you coach somebody who is so nervous to do sparring, actually, if you weren't nervous to do sparring? For me, I don't remember being nervous doing sparring. It's my favorite part of the class. But to have somebody with Brooke's experience, who actually it's recent years, she can look back and go, here's what happened to me. This is how I can relate. Here's how I can help you. So when we have instructors on the mat, like you guys and all the other academies, they're not just, you're good at kicking people in the face, go teach the kids. It's actually guys that have come through a system, had issues, learned to overcome them. And actually that makes you guys fantastic instructors. Not only can we do, but you guys have come through adversity to get where you are, so you can relate, you know.
And I think that's the thing with this one now is like people will see her smashing pads and doing everything on a Saturday, and they'll think, oh well, she's just good at it. She's just naturally, but they don't see behind the scenes the hours she's put in and that nerves she's had to overcome to keep coming week after week after week to get through all of that. You know, what they see at a small, you know, at the end of that class or on a Saturday is the byproduct of lots of training and lots of confidence work that has created that. She hasn't just turned up and been that way. That's years of training with these guys. You know, Tom, Samuel, Alex, all these guys have invested time with Brooke as well, that have made her how she is. It's not...
And then I guess in turn, Brooke, you will then spend time with, really, they're your students now. Your up-and-coming students will remember you for those reasons.
Yeah, hopefully.
I'll speak for her. She's got little ones on a Saturday that come just to see her. They're not interested in me or Alex or Samuel or anything like that. They come to see little Brooke, and some of them won't even get on the mat. She'll help them. She'll take them by the hand, and she can speak from the heart when she's saying, you'll be fine. Trust me. I'll look after you. And she knows what she's talking about. And to have that confidence at her age to give that back as a dad, you know, it's perfect for me. And it's, you know, it's wonderful to see her now flourish and do everything she's doing. I no longer need to sort of nurse her. I allow her sort of wings to spread, and she's coming to her own. So I just let her do her thing now, and it's brilliant. You know, where I worry about her.
I mean, I've seen Brooke now at so many black belt gradings, and you'd never think that, you know, as a yellow belt or a green belt that you were nervous. Now that you can do, you know, first degrees or second degrees, you can get in there with, I mean, a jam-packed full of legit black belts and be one of those, and actually blend in with them, you know, that you don't stand up like, oh, look at that kid, she's so nervous, oh, she's failing, or anything. You just, that black belt crew, that you're part of the black belt crew, whether you're a kid or a girl or an adult or a guy or whatever, that solid black belt unit is just, like you say, persevere, get through it. So what would you give, really, I'm speaking to Ian because you're the dad, what advice would you give to other parents watching that you know your kid is nervous to spar, or they're losing confidence, or the thing for me is I'm bored, mum, which for me, 38 years of training, I'm not bored. It's sometimes kids find it difficult to articulate. I'm finding this technique difficult. I'm a bit nervous to spar, mum. So what advice would you give?
Yeah, I think it's 100% right. I'm bored is the first excuse to an underlying issue. You're not bored, it's just got a little bit tough. Or
Yes.
instructors are expecting a little bit more from you now. You've graded a bit, we want a bit more. I think the advice, like with this one, is just keep pushing. If I know as dad, I want you to be good at this. I want you to achieve. I want you to have this skill set in your armory. My mind was always focused for Brooke on senior school. By the time I wanted to send her off to senior school, I wanted to be comfortable that I knew she could handle herself out on the street on her own. If she saw conflict, she could move from it, or if she was backed into a corner, she'd deal with it proactively. Whether she was on a bus, walking down the street, in a corridor, that was my aim. That was always my focus. And I thought if she can get to black belt by the time she gets to sort of senior school, I know she's got a decent enough skill set. So whatever the excuse was, my mind was confident. That's what I know as dad she needs. So regardless of what she said, I just knew what was best, and I was set on she's going to achieve it, because she has to do maths, she has to do English, she has to do science, she has to do her martial arts.
Yeah, I think there's so many more benefits than just fighting or kicking or punching. I've seen it. All you guys develop. I don't think any of us, to start with, were the best sporty guys. You know, parents or kids or adults can watch us and go, "It's all right for you, mate. You're awesome at this." Well, actually, we're probably awesome at it because we weren't awesome at it. And I wanted to, I wasn't the best one there. I was the geeky national health glasses, knock-kneed skinny kid, but I just wanted to be good. I wanted to be like that guy. So I was prepared to do what other people weren't prepared to do and do it for longer. And sometimes, you know what? It's not who's best, it's who's left. And I remember for most of you guys, you know, you were average students when you came in. Oh, they're nice guys and they're training. But all of a sudden, over the months and the years, you start turning around, you go, whoa, have you seen Tom's hands? Whoa, did you see Alex kick the other day? And, you know, you remember those, like, or Samuel wants to do a tournament. You go, well, let me have a look at him sparring. You go, damn, he wasn't doing that 6 months ago. You know, so all of a sudden it just, over time, you just evolve, you know. You know, we're born without learning to walk, and suddenly you turn around and go, check out little Billy walking, and check him out running, and check him out jumping over stuff. And it just kind of progresses like that. So I know we had a question online. I don't want it to be like a big Q&A thing, but your favorite combos or favorite techniques, have you got a favorite thing to do when you guys train? What do you like? Let's start. Sam's in my corner right
there. So favorite technique would probably be the spin hook kick or check spin hook kick. I think it's probably down to the fact that, like yourself, sir, that's your favorite technique. So we always done that when I was growing up doing classes. That's what we always done. So I kind of just fed off of that. Yeah. But favorite combo to do, very basic, just a jab cross, but on the half beat, throw that right leg kick.
Half beat, right?
Yeah. That's probably my go-to.
For those that are watching and don't understand what a half beat is, what's a half beat, Mr. Welch?
So when you're fighting, we always usually fight on a beat. So it's like boom, 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 boom. But fighting on the half beat, it will speed it up. So it's like boom, 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 boom. So you catch them off guard. If they're expecting that 1-2, that break for the kick, you fire that kick in a little bit quicker. It catches them off guard.
Yes, exactly right. Yeah. So those are watching. If you do your combos or your sparring, we go jab, cross, hook, cross, front kick, and there's a rhythm to that. So it's breaking the rhythm, and when you feel somebody has found your rhythm, it's breaking the rhythm to catch them out, or maybe always break the rhythm so they never know. They can never settle on you. All right. So this side, I've got Mr. C. What we got? Combos, technique, favorite technique.
Favorite technique, it must be the rear hand uppercut. I think everyone that sparred with me knows about it. But as a favorite combo, I'll definitely say the simple 1-2 to the head, body shot with my left hand, and then right low kick. That's 100% my most done combo on everyone that I spar with.
That's our bread and butter, that Dutch style. Right?
Yes, yeah. From very close, and then switching up the level of the kick. Sometimes going to the leg, sometimes going to the head.
Golding, what you got?
It would probably, inspiring-wise, it'd have to be the question mark kick, right question mark kick to the head. Something very satisfying about kicking someone in the face.
Question mark comes up like a front kick, and they set it up, they block it because they think front kick's coming, and you question mark it, boom, all the way around.
Yeah,
If
I
you
like
draw, that's the shape, like a question mark, so it comes up. They react to it, and you come round over the top, right?
Yeah, and I like the variation of it as well. Setting it up with the low kick, so you kick low, you're looking low, and then you kick high. So it's just slight variation, same idea, but want them dropping their guard, dropping their level down to defend either that front kick or the low kick, and you switch it up and go over the top. It seems to work very well.
All that trickery, right?
So
We say so often that actually when you watch fights or guys that are good at sparring, it's not necessarily they're good at sparring because they've got all funky techniques. It's just because they've got the basics down. They've got their setups down. Like if you watch football matches, it's ball in goal. It couldn't be anything easier. Kick that ball in that net. But actually what makes it really hard for another team to know what's going on is the setup, how it's passed, how the team is moving, and then boom, 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 they're a bit bamboozled and wham, ball goes in goal. Same thing, if you know I'm going to punch you in the face, well, that's like really easy to defend. But if I can disguise it with head movement and combinations and put your focus elsewhere, and then bang, I catch you with it. So yes, the setups that are key. Okay, the Bartholomew crew, favorite techniques?
Mine from day one has got to be spin back kick. Catch everyone with that. Keep them at range. Allow them to rush onto me, and then pop, spin it, get straight in there, and catch it straight in the stomach. And Stu McDowell, when he was my coach way back when, dropped me with it every week. It was so hard. Spinning back kick straight to the liver or the guts, and I'd be off my legs in seconds. So from that moment, it was like, no, I've got to learn this. I've got to get better at this. Do it and do it and do it. Yeah, that's my go-to now. Anyone runs at me, that's what I've got.
It's funny, you get a brand new appreciation for it when you get caught with it loads. You're like,
getting smashed up with it week after week, including his round kick to my lead leg. But no, that spin back kick just stuck in my mind for forever. So train it.
Brooke, what you got? Brooke's got some flashy kicks. You've got to be a flashy, right?
I was saying my favourite one is probably just a normal turning kick.
But done well.
So done well.
But done 7 foot vert.
Yeah, in my face.
Go for the head, my favourite part.
So just a nice turning kick. Basically fights, right?
Yeah.
Pick up off that front leg. She's got it so high with zero sort of tell. You can't see it's coming, and it just picks up, whips out quick. And
that's what comes with, like, Brooke's so flexible that I say to people so often, the more flexible you are, the less body movement you have to. If I want to throw a turning kick, you have to throw your leg up there. Maybe it's not as fast as you want because the muscles are contracted a little bit tight. But when you're as flexible as Brooke, there's, like you say, zero tell it. Boom, it's just up there.
Yeah, and it just.
Have you seen that? What's that movie? Chris Tucker. He just looks around. He's like, which one of y'all kicked me?
Yeah. Yeah, love that movie. Rush Hour.
What was that? Rush Hour.
When he's in that gym and he's surrounded by about 10 guys and someone just gives him that kick across the face. Like, who is it? That's her every Saturday.
Rush Hour. It's Rush Hour, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's wicked. Good stuff. So, what have you guys got planned for the rest of your time? Mr. Welch, birthday, right? When's your birthday?
Next Wednesday.
Oh my days. Mr. Welch is going to be 21 years old in a lockdown.
No way, that's the wrong way round.
I should be in America right now. I should be in America.
Vegas.
I should be in Florida right now.
Oh,
but yeah, unfortunately.
You're going to have breakfast with Mickey Mouse on your birthday?
Oh, 100%.
I'd do that too.
100%. And Donald Duck. Can't forget Donald.
Guys, thank you so much for your time. I will process this throughout the day and we'll put it up on that Premier Online Dojo. Get your guys to have a look at it, share it. But thanks for your time, guys. Well done, all the classes. I know I appreciate it. your students fully appreciate it, and hopefully, look, whatever normal is, I hope we get back to it. But enjoy your day, guys. Thank you so much.
Wicked. Thanks a
You
lot,
too,
guys.
sir.
See you
Thank
all.
you. See you later.
See you soon. Cheers,
Thanks,
guys.
See you soon.